My name is Trisha. I'm doing an informative speech on national parks for Communications 101, and this is my audience.
I've got to get a picture of you.
Have you ever been to the bottom of the Grand Canyon, seen the highest measured waterfall in North America, or stood in awe at the site of Old Faithful? Along with these well-known landmarks, there are many more beautiful sites that have been preserved for our generation. There is a lot more to national parks than what the eye can see. To completely appreciate our national parks, we must know how they became. Today I will speak a little bit about the history of national parks, some of the most visited, and what we can do to help preserve these parks for generations to come. So let's begin with a short history of how national parks came to be. One of the first people generally credited with conceptualizing a national park was George Catlin, a self-taught artist who traveled extensively among the Native American people. While sketching and painting portraits, landscape, and scenes from daily Indian life, on a trip to the Dakotas in 1832, he worried about the impact of America's westward travel on Indian civilization, wildlife, and the wilderness. He wrote that they might be preserved by some great protecting policy of government in a magnificent park, a nation's park. The idea had gained some acceptance years later when in 1864 Congress donated Yosemite Valley to California for preservation as a state park. By act of Congress, on March 1st of 1872, Yellowstone National Park was established as the world's first truly national park. Mackinac National Park in Michigan was established as the second national park in 1875, but in 1895 it was turned over to the state of Michigan and became a state park. Yosemite was designated as a national park 18 years after Yellowstone, and other parks were added over time. In 1916, the National Park Service was created to manage the system of parks, and the U.S. national parks are visited by tens of millions of visitors annually. Now that we know a little bit about the history, let's talk about two of the most visited parks. The nation's busiest park, Great Smoky Mountains, draws more than 9 million people annually, twice the number of the next most visited park. It's located in Tennessee and North Carolina. Whether it is hiking, wildlife viewing, or exploring historic structures, Great Smoky Mountains offers something for everyone. The next most visited national park is the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon is also known as one of the 7 wonders of the world because of the overall scale and size combined with the beautifully colored landscape. People enjoy hiking down the canyon wall, which is up to a mile deep. Now that I've told you about the most popular parks, I would like to tell you about the favorite park that I have visited. Mesa Verde is located in Colorado. Today the park has 5,000 known archaeological sites, including 600 cliff dwellings. These sites are some of the most notable and best preserved in the United States. The dwellings left by the ancestral Pueblo people are an amazing sight to see. Now that we know more about a few of our great national parks, let's talk about what we can do to help preserve them for the generations to come. Some ways that we can help in the preservation of these parks is, first and foremost, we need to respect our parks. When we're traveling in our parks, we need to pay attention to posted signs and listen to park rangers and pick up our litter behind ourselves. Another way to help is by making donations to the National Parks Foundation. They can use this money to help in helping to keep the parks clean and accessible. And they also can use this money to help preserve things that have been worn out a little bit, so that we can see what they used to look like. The last way you can help is if you live close to a national park, they can always use volunteers. I think that we can all agree that our national parks hold a lot of history, and that if we help take care of them, many generations to come will be able to enjoy the beauty and history that lies in them. Whether it be a cliff palace left by ancient people, a natural element such as Old Faithful, or the Red Rock Arches, national parks have in them a lot of preserved history of our ancestors, and with proper care, they will be around for many generations to enjoy. If you have the opportunity to visit a national park, no matter which one it might be, you will find something that will